Plenty of people in.
Check it. Seems.
I got Kelsey Benz, Amy Hamilton, Kim from Solar Simplified. It'll all be on the transcript.
Welcome, everybody. Kind of ducky out there tonight. I'd like to call the legislative yes for July 2025 to order. We do have a forum. Would like to start the meeting. We could all stand for the pledge of allegiance. Yeah, would you start us? Nation. We did cancel one of our meetings this past month because of the MML conference. We turned them down. But we only have one meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve? With the words acknowledged.
No, you're approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I don't have to take it. Meeting June 10. Yeah, I will second that motion for the minute meetings on June 10.
Getting through the rain, not happy there. So, is there any further discussion?
Well, yeah, actually, the new format is really, really good, except we're not a city council and we don't have a mayor. Yeah, yeah,
Borrowed.
yeah. No, I think it's a great format. I think it's an easy read. I like it. So,
And this actually meets the criteria of the way things are supposed to be done.
yes, that's
And we're not supposed to be writing out a book because so it's now videotape everything.
yeah.
So
But it was easy to read. It's clear.
that could be changed. Like I said, this was the beginning of it, and I found this. So
Yeah.
it's fine. We can change that. Just change that before we post it. All in favor of the minutes? Before we get started, I'd like to introduce Kim. He is our new assistant town administrator. We are so happy to be here. I know I've talked to you that one day, and on here every week, but I'm glad that you're here and that you're going to be working on a lot of things that we need to update. Thank you to be here. So,
Rob Reinhardt, Commissioners, welcome aboard.
thank you. Yeah, we should probably put.
Double time.
Yes.
The first day she was here.
Very nice. On the agenda, here, before we get to things, there's a Tasker Lane vote.
Well, actually, I don't want to vote.
Okay.
I don't want to, and actually I can't vote anyway, but I don't think we should vote, and I'll bring that up when we get to that topic of what I think we should do. Is Ken and I had a video conference with Dewberry the other day. And they brought up an interesting idea that, I'll explain it when we get there.
Before we go there,
Mhm.
okay, and before I saw this on here, I had reached out to our attorney, and, this goes for all of us.
Mhm.
That if there is a project that is at the house, your house,
Mhm.
or anything like that, the commissioner cannot be part of the meeting. You can be a resident, and that's fine. But you can't,
That's fine, that's fine.
yeah,
Okay.
it's due to, even perceived things, you
Mhm.
can't be part of that.
Well, that's kind of why I want to talk about the
Yeah.
Dewberry proposal. It's just too big.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
You're on the.
Yes, you can be a resident, but you can't attend meetings.
Well, no,
I don't
you
agree
can
with
as a
that
resident.
at all.
You can as a resident.
I
And you
mean,
can
for.
speak as a,
You can be here,
Right.
Yeah.
But
you can be here at this meeting, but you cannot be having the internal meetings.
he could be involved with the internal meetings.
Our
Absolutely.
attorney saying
I
no.
don't care what you. He's right.
If it is open to the residents, yes, but when there is things like that, then no. They wouldn't be involved in that.
I do have an issue though, because
It's my house.
we had a meeting at Tasker with Dennis, myself,
That was a
the
separate.
town attorney.
That's a separate thing, but that was indication to discuss with you. But based on what he is saying, no, you can't just come in here and have a separate meeting with Luther.
Even if Ken's involved.
Yeah,
I have to trophy. Well, I don't have to worry about it. My property, you can bet. So that's, we have to worry about that.
Okay, that, I'm just putting that out there because it's perception, it's just not good business. It's not, I'm gonna move forward with that.
yeah, I'm not gonna.
Would be.
Unless it was an open meeting. If there is, because of the fact that there's still talks about what's gonna happen and all that, town's best interest and all that, yes, when it comes back out into a meeting like this, yes, as a resident.
Jump down the street. It's one thing. Because then you're wasting time. They need to put their input because it's their. So. And then you're just wasting time instead of having everybody at one point.
The initial meetings, I disagree with that. Once we have a plan together, then yes.
They should be part of. It's their own. That's just my opinion.
Because the town doesn't have jurisdiction over private property.
That and, we really don't have jurisdiction of the water, even resident doesn't. So that's why, because of this particular project, we're going to NDE and the Board of Regents, they're the ultimate say.
I have no issue with that. I have a different idea of how to approach it. So,
Okay, I've been there.
Yeah.
And I've removed,
Yeah.
I've even, when the people was over here, I've actually removed myself from the side of the commissioner and walked around. So,
yeah, no, and I'm happy to do that. I'm not arguing that at all. Yeah.
all right, moving forward, accounts payable.
Accounts payable. And it's billboard size. Somebody has a sense of humor if he does that for. For this period, the accounts payable are $113,366.27. Of that, $8,030.75 will be reimbursed through grants, funded through grants.
Is there any further discussion? Is there a motion?
In the amount of $113,366.27 in the county clerk.
I'll second.
Anything else?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
And I appreciate all you did to break that flag getting up for us. You and those guys,
You're welcome.
right the last minute.
the flag here 2-3 weeks before it got here, so it was just a matter of time to get it up there. I did not see it until the next night, because I left Ocean City, because I want to do it anymore for a while. The fireworks, before we get into it, we increased by almost 3 times the amount of people that came to that. We filled Avalon and Fireman's Field. I did stay up on the corner up there because of what happened last year, that at the last minute, cars came in and parked right there in the intersection and then blocked everything. So, there were people trying to do that. But the fact that it was put out on the internet like that, it's things that we need to, lessons learned. We're going to be putting out more trash cans, more porta potties, more everything. And with the Avalon building, with the ramps, because of the rotten, we're not in service either. So, we're going to be working on getting that. So I think it went very well, though.
Maintenance guys. So you can call it, find one from there.
It was the park rangers.
I had
I saw,
Park Rangers come in on Thursday, Friday. Thursday. Had them here Friday, because I had a resident. Our park ranger actually picked up their wheels from their kayak. They didn't know what it was and hauled it off. So
Very efficient.
we managed to get it back. But the resident reached out to me, so I got a hold of the park rangers and said, give them back their wheels.
There's the city, and I picked up my phone, and I'm like finding out now. So he said it was all taken care of. By the time that he texted me back, the resident said that Ken took care of it. So,
Part of it probably needed to start the rangers earlier. I didn't start them until 10 o'clock on the 4th. So we could have started a bunch earlier to get it cleaned up quicker.
oh, I'm talking about, it was the day after this, the guys were picking up a lot of trash on Avalon.
Yeah.
Which it was the fluke itself. And there was a whole lot of trash and picked up and a lot of things. But they come out, holiday. Did a lot of pick up that.
Yeah, Bobby had called me and I said, well, the Rangers are supposed to be there at 10, so he must have had Craig.
Yeah, I saw Craig.
He must have had at least Craig come over, because I actually had Craig come over to the bathroom at Veterans. Somebody had clogged the toilet up so bad that it couldn't be flushed. So they had to come clean that out also on the 4th. So, yeah, I mean, lessons learned for sure. We probably need to bring them in earlier. That way the parks are pristine for the people to start their day off with. Weren't expecting 1,000 people either. So. It was perfect.
Yeah.
The timing, great fun.
About, and but everything, well, it was done. Andy is gonna be talking to me this week or so that we can talk about what we're gonna be doing. Out of all that, Fifth Brewing Company asked if they could have Blues Festival here next year instead of over at the brewery. So I said, talk to Andy and Will, and I think it would be a great day. They like the fact of it's over next to the water. They like the stage. They like all that stuff. So, and they would work also back in. So I think our Rockfish music fest is doing pretty well.
It'll take care of parking, if potentially putting in some lines.
I started, I ran out of paint. I want to buy,
As we do these things,
yeah.
we're learning little things.
What-
I know Andy kept everybody from coming down to that lower line,
Yeah.
Avalon, so food trucks don't get in.
what I want to do is buy a baseball diamond lime. It's not that expensive, and put baseball lime down to mark it off, and it'll wash away.
And they get in and out.
Yeah, if it's dry, they were fine. We parked trailers over there. No problem.
Only had a few incidents. One of a guy in a truck that tried to run me over, because he didn't want to wait. He had a trailer and everything, about hit Travis's house over there. That's how far he went around. So, other than that, and, we were also keeping people out of the marina unless they were to be in the marina. So some of the marina people were upset that I was questioning why they were going down in there, but I said, actually, it's a benefit. You're paying to be here. They're.
They'd be happy to have your spot.
The other thing I didn't know is Andy gave out parking permits to people to park in the lower park, but I was opening that up for handicapped people, so I didn't know he did that. So, like I said, some lessons learned.
It's the first one.
Moving forward, now that we discussed that, the water audit.
Yes, so without going into a whole bunch of details, after a lot of phone calls and emails and Teams messages and things with MDE and Dewberry, we finally got back of a current water audit. I would encourage everybody to read it and understand what's in it. Let's put it to you this way, AECom was not exactly right with what they gave us before. And it's for a decision for the board to make on what they want to do with the information. And I don't want to go into great detail because I don't want to give somebody hope that we're going to do something when we might not.
From the one email that you sent and everything, I would suggest that we all read it so that at our working meeting, we can sit down and do more of a discussion with it. That's okay with everybody?
Yeah. Now, I do have some marching orders that I have to take care of, and I have some of that information, which is why I really didn't list it here. But I did talk to AC Schulte about our wells and our pumps.
That doesn't make sense.
So AC Schulte says that our pumps are perfectly capable of taking it up to 500,000 gallons. Miller says that the controls on it are what's setting the tank level. If we want to take it a little bit higher, we can, but there has to be some airspace at the top of it for the water to turn over and remain fresh. Makes perfect engineering sense, right? AC Schulte also seems to think that maybe well number 3 is still viable and they need to troubleshoot it before we go down the road of drilling a whole new well. If well 3 is still viable at any level and we can get anywhere close, and that is so much more cost effective than drilling a new well and new pumps and everything else, and even thinking about putting a new tower in because we don't need it.
Ken, how deep is the existing fluid? The 30?
The well 1 is like 114 feet. Well 2 is 124. Well, 3 is only like 85 feet deep. It's not that deep. And the only reason I think it was ever taken out of service the last time they tested it, it was only pumping 84 gallons a minute, which we're shooting for that goal of 100 gallons per minute. They told me that they had started a conversation with Brian over a year ago about coming out and troubleshooting well 3, and then it just stopped. So my recommendation is to bring them out, let them take a stab at it and tell me and everybody in this room on whether or not it's worth saving. If it's not worth saving, then by Maryland state law, the thing should be filled and abandoned by procedure, which means that if it's not viable, we need to get it done quick.
When they come out and they troubleshoot, or they suggest, digging deeper?
The actual data is on the well first, and then they'll troubleshoot. Oh, you know what it did? It picked up the next one down, Charlestown 2.4. Yeah. So hopefully within the next reasonable amount of time, I'll be able to give everybody in this room an answer on whether or not we need to spend a whole bunch of money or a little bit of money.
And here's a dumb question. If the other ones are 100 gallon, this one's only 80 gallon. 80 gallons is better than none.
I agree. So by MD standard, the best well out scenario, so both of them are only tested to 100 gallons per minute. So if we take well 1 out and we still have well 2 running, it gives us 144,000 gallons per day to pump into that tank. You throw in well 3, now that's 80 gallons per minute. You know, roughly speaking, that's what, 5,400 gallons
Yeah, that's what.
an hour. So it's about 106,000 gallons as opposed to 144,000 gallons.
That's from the kid.
Yeah. And what that does is takes you away from that time limit for your emergencies. So because you're still pumping, all we would have to do is put a pump back in that thing and all the controls and a backup generator, which heck, we already have one we can pull in place if we need to.
Yeah.
And that information is 85 gallon back in 2013 or something.
Last time AECom did their test, so I'd have to pull the license and see when they ran it, but
That's some good information. Thank you.
yeah. So
I'm
there's hope.
hopeful for this, because we had to do the other, from what Aiden said, even at that time, it was 5.7 million. So, at the time, everything was 5.7 million. It's like, so it would be great if we could do it, but it isn't that, and we could still be able to do it. Now, one thing that helped us is the generators, to put in there for our wells and for the water tower. So,
Yeah, and the last piece of it is they're supposed to provide me with a quote on a standby pump.
yeah,
On how much that would cost for us to have it in stock here, ready to roll.
that was something else that was to have that standby, because if something happens, it can go down quicker than just nothing
Yeah.
anymore is on the shelf. You have to order it. So we would be without for quite some time. So going forward at our next meeting, we'll go more in depth. If everybody would read that so that we can talk more in depth about it.
I understand. Save that.
Yeah, according to AECom's report, that's not fact.
That's good. Yeah, it's 20,
It's ridiculously low.
yeah, like 80, something that.
Yeah,
That's.
I can pull the last sheet that AECom provided us before they were gone. And it is way above that, because I always question it. And why I was like, why is it out of service? Why can't it just be a standby pump? Well,
Especially
and
going
we can never get an answer. So now the answer is we're going to test it and see if it's a viable well.
Vacation cycle.
It's
Plus
possible.
one, pump two, then
Yeah, we can,
limit.
we can put one in primary and two in lag. It's not that big a deal. It's, and they already do it one in pump one, well, one and two already do it now. So it wouldn't be that hard to provide controls for a third one and do the same thing. The wear and tear.
Wear and tear.
So I'm not promising anything. I'm just telling you that there is hope.
Good legwork.
The other part of this is Ken actually working with the engineer and MBE. And that didn't happen either. So, MBE is the one that gives us a permit. So, which is coming up in another year and a half.
27.
So we good to be working with them. Scott Gardens Phase 2.
Yeah, I just put that in there in case somebody wanted to have a general discussion about what we had. So,
We had a meeting, couple meetings, you had one, we had one, and I've also been talking to, Secretary of Housing and his staff about what we can do, mainly because of the water situation. See if there was money, because this is, one of the governor's initiatives to have affordable housing. So part of our redoing of the zoning is that we're gonna be second, instead of having our 1, 2, and 3 in commercial zone, it's gonna be actually set up into 6 or 7 zones now with overlays on what can be in those sections. Talking to Scott Garden, they kind of have the same thing. And it would be great to be able, and one of the things that I've talked to them about is to have senior housing. So it would be single family around the edge, smaller lots, kind of doing what we have with our stormwater is not cutting down as many trees, which is awesome. And then in the center, having senior cluster houses in the middle, single story little
Right.
cottages that are there. They,
He's willing to do that?
they're taking that back.
Yeah. Good.
But Scott's going to phase 2 is.
Would be, is there any talking plan to have some kind of community center?
I did talk to them about that.
Senior center.
Senior center type thing. They're gonna talk about that. I mean, they're still in the preliminary, we're still in the preliminary, but the fact that we're working on all this stuff anyway, this works. And the move is not to have big gigantic houses with big gigantic lots. More people want to have more affordable, and smaller lots to be able to maintain. And they're also gonna be putting pickleball courts and all that sort of stuff in there. So it is a good start. They listen to what we have. I know that they have a bottom line too. So I guess right now we're just waiting to see what they have to say on that.
Are they senior housing? Are they thinking about any give backs having to do with water systems and?
That's what we're
Yeah.
talking to, the Secretary of Housing. We're now, like I said, we're still in infancy stage. And I said, we were going through the water audit and this hadn't come through yet. So, there is money, but it would be, and since it's still in the planning stages, can't apply for that until April or,
Yeah.
but it's a potential,
Furbishing
yes.
be much less costly.
And to get our pumps and possibly do some other things. So they were happy that we were talking to MDE there. So all the steps that we're taking, they're actually thankful, because most towns come in and go, I won. So it's the fact that we're changing the way our zoning is, we're talking to the developer and we're talking to housing and we're talking to MDE. So like Richard and I, we had talked before, is to have the different agencies that we work together with them. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing. So Ken's working with MDE. I've been talking to, Secretary Day and also to Charlie Day, the relation. So, hopefully there's more to come on that, but we're all still in an infancy stage of all this, but it's great that you put that on there so that everybody knows what.
Going back to the water thing, trying this, is there potential of upgrading roofs? If the wells would support it, that it would actually
Pump more.
pump more?
I'm sure there
They're saying
is,
that-
like if we put a pump in there was capable of more than 100 gallons per minute. I mean, I can ask that question. The only thing I asked them was whether our pumps were capable of filling the tank. And they said they are. It's the limit level that's set on the controls. It's stopping it from going to 500,000. Our overflow is 534, so it's kind of,
And it might be that we talk to the pump, Schultze, about the fact of when there's an emergency going on, like we had with the fire, that there's a way to possibly hit the button to increase. Because at that time, we figured out that we were only pumping in 200 gallons and the fire company was taking out 1,000. So there's an 800-gallon deficit in there per minute. So they could only do it for a short period of time until they had to go to the river. So
by our valuation, a fire event is supposed to take 2 hours. And that's 1,200 gallons per minute, which would keep us from hitting low level tank. But we hit low level that day. So we were pumping out more than 1,200 gallons a minute, I'm sure. Or our pumps were struggling to get back up, because also on top of that, you gotta remember that time of year and all that stuff that was going on, there were people using garden hoses and sprinklers and everything else.
Well,
It was a perfect storm.
when the flagpole's going up, I did notice there's a fire hydrant right there.
Yeah.
Do our fire hydrants, are they attached to it? They're attached to our water system
They are.
rather than having a draw from the river?
Yeah, they're all from our tank.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah, no, everything, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
back up.
Mhm.
The tide was out. It wouldn't have mattered if we wouldn't have been able to.
With some, yeah.
They were actually going out to fire. The channels out there.
And actually saved us. I think.
It was blowing in the right direction.
Going, what, yeah.
If it had been blowing towards in town, we would look like Chicago. It was at 1890 or because most of these houses over here don't have sprinklers. Yeah, I figure most of the old houses don't have sprinklers. So
That was. That's all. Case
Yeah.
area, all this.
yeah, we lost a flagpole in a boathouse. We could have lost the whole town.
And
I know.
Do I need to scoot back or do I? No, well, no, actually, no,
You want Ken to do it?
no, because I've been thinking about this after having that meeting. And what we found in that meeting was the proposal that they have sent is $189,000, and that's just for engineering. And what was revealed was that, oh, well, we have to do all this engineering and then there's construction, and the whole thing could cost up to $500,000. So my point of view, and Tyler brought this up, he said, why don't you just hire a landscape architect and and then contract, but he didn't take it this far. He said, do a landscape architect what you want. And go from there. And so I think that's a pretty good idea, because I don't think we need to spend $189,000 on tide studies and moon, all this stuff. It's what engineering companies do. And what needs to be done there is more physical than engineering. And the scope has gotten so big. It goes all the way from Dennis's property all the way over to the revetment, rather than just confining itself to where the problem was. And I think there's an old saying, don't fix what's not broke. And especially if it's going to cost $500,000. Why do that? And then the final point is the rejection on my part as the property owner for the plan that they were doing. So I think what I was going to propose is that, because and I'll speak my word, it's my property. I know what I would like to have done, and it is just to stop the erosion around where the cement bulkheads are that are over the pipe, and take care of that area, and take care of Dennis's property over there. Although Dennis's is kind of ugly with the way the cement's just poured over the stuff, but it's in some ways as secure as what is on mine. So develop a plan that just goes from his boat ramp over to the 70 feet on my property, and not do anything else. And look at it as a smaller scope, because the scope and scale has just gotten too large and unaffordable. And then also destroying what is a natural beach.
In the original, didn't they already say that as it got closer to that one little bulkhead, that basically where Chester Lane would come down? Didn't they say that it is actually capturing sand there?
Yeah, because of
Never
that,
stopped.
because of that cement wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if they went to a contractor, separate contractor, would they have to get all permits through MDE
Mhm.
Yes.
and all of that? and be
But what
insured and licensed and all
I've
that?
started doing a little bit of research,
Yeah.
and there are multiple companies in Elkton, all around this area, and as far away as Annapolis, that do revetment and shoreline. And the trick is to find those people that have the ability to, because if you go to a smaller company, a lot of the stuff that needs to be done is more intuitive than engineered. And if it's people that do revetment for a living or do shoreline restoration for a living, going directly to those companies, because many of them already say, we'll give you free estimates. We'll come out and give you a free estimate of how to repair this. I just think that we need to do some homework, and I'm willing to do it. And I would actually, to keep me clean, I would love it if Rob could do it on behalf of the town, be my counterpart, so that I'm not. Because I've only always ever been open and because I don't want the town. Because to your point, the reason why I want to do this other way is I don't, as the treasurer, want anybody in town to ever say, oh, look, they just spent $200,000 on engineering for his property. Oh, and look, and they just spent another $350,000 to fix it.
That's it.
That's exactly it. And I don't want to be in that position. I want to live happily in town.
Whoever we do, because we found this out.
Yeah.
They must be an approved
Right.
marine.
That's exactly, and that's what
But it's
the
also
research.
with.
Yes, and that has the ability to go to MD. Yes. Yes.
Anything that's
Yeah.
NDE and.
Yes.
And.
Yeah.
Not that. Approved contract.
And I mean, even what Gary was doing was going 20 feet out into the water. And I don't think the fix has to go that it has to be clear of the sewer line, so that if there needs to be future maintenance, that you can get equipment in and get to the sewer line, but I don't think that's for 20 feet beyond where that is. I think there's gotta be a more compact and sensible way of doing this that's more affordable.
Now, MDE is going to ultimately say yes or no.
Yeah, that's right.
They have,
That's right.
they're
Yeah.
the one gonna,
Yeah, but if you go with a licensed marine restoration company, then they will have a relationship.
Already.
And I just think I think we need to explore that.
that's,
Anybody else wanna get it?
Yeah, then we can take that $180,000, put it someplace else.
Well, that's exactly.
I have a routing number, you can put that.
In Switzerland?
Yeah.
I have to admit, that we're cleaning out the storm drain. Water's going to the places that it's supposed to, so I'm happy on that. I know there's still a lot more to do, and we're finding as we do things, residents are now coming to Ken, and we're finding out that we're working on issues with that, that things didn't happen fixing. So hopefully as we go, more of that will take place. There is that project that's way over there.
Oh, yeah, for Calvert outfall. Yeah.
Howard Street Beach Coastal. Bayland is our engineers that are doing this, that they actually put the project together. They are submitting the grants. So this is another project. This is the second project. The first one is the stream restoration, but this is just a picture of what going through right now to help with
And
that.
that would be little catch basins
Yes, yeah,
right before the water.
yeah, they're little,
Where that
little
pipe,
tiny.
where that
baby.
pipe is now.
Little
It gets clogged all the time. Yeah.
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 I don't know how. I have found coats that were just the size of
So
that pipe that
and shove
going up
yeah.
in there, so, this is gonna help with our, MS4 permitting to help with, alleviating some of the water, but things, other things are going.
what's the deal with parking in water?
This would be,
That's
Living shoreline.
living shoreline, yeah.
because the way the stream comes, or the way the way back in is.
Yeah.
But
Right now,
Yeah,
the living shore will help our things, and will also help with, the fact of slowing the water down, helping slow down the nitrates, which that is the big thing of the MS4 permitting. What is it? I know. We need to find
it's like, elf on a shelf. It travels around the room.
Yep.
Yep,
You have a spreadsheet.
I do. So this is total for both, $87,964 for both of our piers. CDOC itself. Minus expenses, it's $65,584 so far this year that we've pulled in. Some of the stuff hasn't populated into that yet because we still get transient people that want to stay in for a night or 2 nights, which is $100 a night per slip. So I think we've managed to actually pull another $1,100 that's not added to this.
How how do we stop transients pulling into people who renting?
Well, when they come in here, I give them the slip number. And then I usually go down the day that they're supposed to show up and make sure that they're in the slip that they're supposed to
Are
be
you
there.
saying,
How do we stop rolling?
I don't have that, I don't have that answer.
Slip taking, so this is not a transient, it's something like that. We ran into that over the weekend, and kind of got to be like, already getting to be nasty, and then people level headed out and everything's cool.
It happened on the town here too.
Down here, people were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And I know this is all new.
I mean, I'm open to suggestions. I mean, simply we could put signs out that says it's a private, private marina and slip holders only.
Yeah, I would say town one. That, slip holders only
Yeah.
at the end. Yes,
Perfect.
and then at the end of CDOT, like here and here, when you're coming around, if you're transient, please contact town hall or what's her name?
Nagy.
Lisa.
No. Missy Nagy.
Missy.
Missy.
No, sure.
To contact Missy, so that they know where they can be. And I think that might be, I agree.
That's probably a good solution. We didn't think we were gonna have any transients, so whenever they didn't get leased up, just trying to figure out a way to make more money. So,
Are the slips that Larry's leasing for his use, are they marked specifically Wellwood?
yeah, they have Wellwood placards on.
Yeah.
'Cause I know there's two people that have slips. At CDOT,
Mhm.
and when they went back. One was Saturday, one was Sunday,
Yeah.
somebody put their slip, they just use their own lines are all there, just tied right up and.
On
And I,
I think the
it
guys-
people's lines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it could be the way it was.
Mhm.
And people were just coming in there, and it could be just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Before people realize it's not that anymore. I don't know how it was.
Water. Get a hold of Doc Master and slips 7, 8, and 10 or transients. You must something.
No, I agree.
Good.
possibly?
I've been thinking about that. I think quite honestly, it'd be easy if we put honestly a bracket in front of each one of the slips and put somebody's name on it. It would be really easy to take a piece of paper and laminate it and slide it into a thing and put somebody's name.
The way it didn't have a name, but it had a.
So we can do something similar to that. It's, we'll have. I don't know if we get done tomorrow, but we'll have plenty of time to get it prepared before next year happens for sure.
So we have that could be treated here, 7 or 8.
I think it's 9. Not a lot.
Yeah, I think for the first year, you guys did really well.
Yeah, not a lot. And we didn't advertise. I mean, I just got some folks that called me and said, hey, we hear you might have some open slips for a night. And they called and I'm like, well, let me walk down and make sure that somebody hasn't snuck into a slip.
Well, that'd be some
And
town website.
walk down and,
That-
yeah, something that should be advertised better for sure.
Being our first year, that's why I asked them to put this together to kind of show. So far, is that how much that ring cost? $3,000 or the ladders in that?
That, a little bit of everything. The ladders, we had to fix the pedestals for some of them, and there was a couple of,
The pump out.
the pump out, it has a seal leak. I haven't gotten the bill for that yet, so I don't know how much that costs yet.
We talked about the dock boxes. Did we do that?
Yeah, I told them to contact us. Most of the dock boxes, there are hardly any dock boxes on that thing at all. There's 2 or 3 of them that were sitting on extensions that were already there. There's one that I don't even know where it came from. I think it's empty. I have to figure out where it came from because the slip's not paid for, but there's a dock box sitting there and there's no boat in it. So I don't know whose it is. It's gonna sit there a little bit longer. I'm gonna investigate it and we're gonna put it in lost and found and somebody come talk to me about why the dock box is sitting there.
What's the total again? Can you scroll down?
For both, it is
87.
87,964.
How?
Yeah, because it was a grant.
Because that was not green. So I just wanted to make sure everything.
You said something in this picture reading, but you always step into it, you just get here, so. When you have somebody rents a slip on the sea dock or leaves a slip on the sea dock, can you just put a sign up saying private slip? That way, anybody else coming in there would know that that's already a taken slip. Might make it very simple and easy.
That's a good idea.
Sorry for the interruption.
No,
Okay.
ideas are welcome, man.
Contacting Sotomayor, I know that I have talked to him about doing more work. Way things have been this year between illnesses, personal reasons and whatever, we are not keeping up with what.
Well, I mean, Tom gave us free labor this weekend by mowing Sandy Beach because it wasn't done. It's been a chore to get footlog done on a very regular basis. And like the shop area doesn't get mowed on a regular basis. And part of it has to do with, benefit time. They're using benefit time. Part of it has to do with being pulled to, fix other things that we probably didn't think about, CDOC. We also fixed the boathouse on 630 Water Street this year, so we could get all the reeds and stuff out of Avalon and up off the floor like they were supposed to. There was a lot of things I pulled the maintenance guys away from their normal daily chores. And like I said, with them having benefit time, and they have a lot because they've all been here for a while, it puts them behind. We don't have much of a way to keep up other than I've used the park rangers a few times to fill in for like landscaping stuff. Cora Hickling actually weeded and mulched almost all of footlog last week. So, and she hand weeded. It wasn't like she was using a weed eater. She went over there on her hands, knees, and gloves and pulled weeds with her
I
hand.
know we added some price on
Yeah.
properties. Find a ways, because he actually walked down and I was down. He said, "Hey, let me know, I would have done this."
Yeah,
But I'm like, that's
I'm gonna, this weekend, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna talk to Bobby about getting the weed eater over to me, because I'm even noticing not just down in the water, like sidewalks, and along different road areas that things are starting to come out. So, this weekend I'll go around. I used to do it a long time ago,
Yeah.
so I can start doing it.
Now, I will tell everybody in here, the beach areas, I got Ecotone, which does a lot of habitat stuff. They're gonna be providing me with a proposal on taking care of the environmental sensitive areas for us. She said she was gonna try to get it to me by Friday, but realistically, it's gonna be Monday. And then provided it's not a horrible price, we probably need to go that way. Simply put, there aren't a whole lot of people to hold those licenses in this state to be able to put pesticides out near waterway.
Yeah.
And they have to be done a specific way on specific plants, and you just don't want any landscaper out there with a weed sprayer.
Next, we don't want things that are growing up in the revetment now, even along Avalon, down this way, down Tasker, between football and Tasker. So there's a lot that needs to be looked at, but I looked at Bobby to bring over weed eater and, I'll get my, chainsaw out to do the rest.
Was there an issue earlier this year that the town lawnmower was out of order?
Yeah.
And there couldn't get parts or something and that delayed stuff. So I mean, it does make sense to see if Sammy can just consolidate, yeah.
I
Because then
know
we don't have to have them.
he's got it. These have carry, because I'm not working, we don't want it to
Yeah.
nature to
yeah.
take it back. So, he said anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of things that are happening and the way getting parts, it's not like going to a store now to get it. A lot of the parts now are made to order, so it's taking a week, 2 weeks, possibly longer to get the parts.
Staff we found doing more.
Yeah.
They didn't do.
Yes,
It's just it's stressing them. So it just makes sense to have somebody that's what he does, do it, and it'll be done on a timely basis.
and so. We need to see what can happen this weekend. The group homes here in town, they are wanting to bring their residents over to Avalon to go fishing, and they asked for Avalon building to be opened up
For the restrooms.
for the restrooms.
I'll make that happen. We'll
The ramps were rotten, so
we'll put something back up there to get that through and safe.
so
Yeah, we'll make it
we'll
happen.
just have the park or open the buildings up.
Yeah. I mean, I can open up the bathrooms as long as I put a deadbolt on the other two doors. And somebody can't open those doors. So they want to use the bathroom and leave. They can lock it.
But she sent me 2 messages. I know I saw it. I know that the planks were pulled off and I saw stuff laying there, but I didn't see it put back on.
It's
I'll
not
let
that,
her know.
but I talked to Bobby and I said, we need to make this happen by the weekends. We'll get it done.
I appreciate that. And, this group of people that are in the group homes, they're out and about and doing a bunch of stuff. So I think that they're next to us. And the sister on Oval, whose house this weekend. The 2 that are, Charlestown Place and Oval, and then the other ones at the top of the hill of Oval, there's 3 group homes. I know it wasn't, that's why I can see it.
Commune.
So there's gonna be. Sometimes they bring a couple of the homes in, so it's gonna be between 8 to 12 people that are gonna be down here. Chairs, but most of them are total care, so they need to be able to have that other bathroom so that they're to get in there.
Why not? Fix the building.
Yes, we are working towards that. I promise we'll get to you in a second, the solar, we able to do solar.
She's online.
Avalon, we have cleaned it out, we've cleaned it up. Working on getting the deck pulled back from where it is because of the fact of the erosions that's there. To be able, people want to be out on the deck, and do what we can without spending a whole bunch of money to be able to rent that out. Fire marshal's already looked at the place, so we can have 40.
There's a number on the wall. I'll have to look at it, but I think that's probably true.
We get an inspector invited.
Other than the last one was 2016, something around there.
And Bobby, we were over there looking, because the natural running water is running top of the hill. There's a swale running straight to being under the building, so. That was something he was gonna work on, and getting the, those water bladders removed from down there, and we can get that kind of fixed up a little bit more. It does have heat and air conditioning, we would just have to get tables and chairs to be in there, but it's also a place that we can,
also have side meetings too.
Our interns, did that ever?
August,
August
August.
Oh,
coming
okay.
one,
Oh,
down to one.
Yeah,
because
they
of
pulled the funding for the other one.
funding. August, I don't have a name yet.
We don't have a name yet either. It's almost like a tender for an intern. They swipe, we swipe, and next, then there's
Yeah.
one left.
And Chris-
So,
and- Solar Simplified.
let's see if they're still on. It was, Kim, are you on, Kim, from Solar Simplified?
Yes, I am here, and then we have Sasha on as
I
well.
see Sasha's on also.
Hi, everyone.
The floor
Thanks
is
for having
yours.
us. Well, we've talked to this group a couple of times at this point, right? So I think we just wanted to see what kind of questions you may have about the program, if this is still something you're interested in considering and offering to your constituents. Since we last spoke, several municipalities in Delmarva signed up with us for the program, and we're rolling it out to their constituents, including Perryville, Hurlock, and Denton newly. So I'm here to answer any questions.
One of the questions that I have, and I know you might have answered this because you're not the only company that's come here.
Yep.
We're being hard. With the taking away of third party on anything with our billing, how are you getting around that?
So we are, I believe, either the only or one of the very few companies that is offering consolidated billing. So all solar credits and all discounts will appear directly on your standard Delmarva bill. So there won't be any secondary billing. And we're fully integrated with the utility, and just our technology allows us to offer that.
But how are you getting around the fact that Maryland took away third party billing?
Yeah, that we're not billing you separately. Exactly. We are fully integrated with the utility. So you'll just see the solar credits and the discount that we're offering on those solar credits directly on your Delmarva power bill. So there's no secondary billing. It doesn't really apply, the third party restrictions are not applying here since we're not billing you separately.
So how are you making your money?
We make our money by producing energy and selling it to the utility. So the municipality doesn't pay us anything. The participants don't pay us anything. We have solar panels. They generate energy. We sell them to the utility, and then the solar credits that are generated through that process get applied directly to the customers, to the participants, and they just benefit from that energy and from the discounts that we're offering. So we're fully compensated by that process via the utility. So yeah.
And with what you're offering, is it for the entire bill or is it minus delivery?
It's we try to match the full bill. We mentioned it last time, and I remember you were skeptical about it. We tried to match the full bill. So we tried to apply enough solar credits, meaning the total value, to match your full bill, including supply and delivery.
Yeah. And how much a month would that be?
So it's
Average.
10. So it depends on your bill, right? So it's 10% discount on all solar credits, on the total value of solar credits. So if your bill is $100, we're able to provide $100 worth of solar credits. It will be a $10 discount to you in that month. However, if your bill is $500, then 10% would be $50 discount in that month. So it really depends on your usage and the size of your bill.
So you're looking for scope and scale. So you're looking for lots of people to do this. And this is not an offer, but if let's say, for instance, the town has lots of Delmarva accounts. Would you be willing to do a 6-month test market? So let the town see if we could actually make money before we open it up to the town? Is that something you'd be interested in?
So our program is community solar is first and foremost for residential accounts. So there may be some municipal accounts that would qualify as the residential type account, but if they're classified as commercial, then they don't qualify for community solar. So yes, unfortunately, that wouldn't really work.
I'll figure it out.
That would be for businesses also then. We have a few of those.
Businesses do not qualify for community solar, and that's what I'm trying to explain. So it's pretty much for residential customers only. That's the whole reason for this program, community solar, making it available to more customers, more residential customers, especially for people that don't have the ability to put solar panels on their roofs. So yeah. So unfortunately, businesses do not qualify for this offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have anything else?
Yeah, and once again, this is once we roll, if you were to proceed with our program, we basically just educate the local residents on the availability of this program. This community solar is regulated by the Department of Public Service of Maryland, so it's a government program. We just facilitate the education piece, and then everybody decides for themselves whether they would like to, benefit from these discounts and participate. But it's completely voluntary, so there's no commitment for anybody. And then beyond that, for anybody who enrolls, it's a month-to-month agreement. Some of our competitors lock you in for at least a year, some for multiple years. We don't believe in locking people in long-term contracts. We believe in offering a great service. So it's month-to-month, cancelable at any time. So it's completely risk-free for any participants. And and then lastly, I'm not sure if you guys recall, there's also an incentive for the municipality for all accounts that enroll within the municipality. There's a $50 civic contribution that goes directly to the municipality for to be spent however you like. So you have just an extra incentive for participating.
So then refresh my memory. Do you need the town, us, the commissioners to sign off on something for you, or is this something that literally you can go door to door if you wanted to?
We do not do door to door. We do not do door to door. That's very intrusive, and in the post-pandemic world, I think it's kind of crazy. Most of our competitors do that. We do. We focus on educating the residents. We host like local events. We would send out pre-approved mailers that would describe the program and make enrollment simple. That's kind of our focus is on collaborating with municipalities on educating the locals about the availability of this program. So we don't do door to door, and the municipality participates in whichever way you guys like. Obviously, the more people enroll, the more civic contributions there are, the more savings we're generating for the community. But there's no real requirements for this. We do all of the work. We sponsor all of the flyers, mailers, all the sponsorship of the local events, things like that. So.
We forwarded all the information that they offered.
Now, have you forwarded the information to me or anybody for that? And if you did,
Yep.
Send it again, please.
Yeah, we'll be happy to follow up with some more information. Yeah, basically, the next steps are, if you guys think this is a worthwhile endeavor for you guys, then we'll sign a marketing service agreement just for us to formalize the engagement and get started. And after that, we let people know that this program exists and see who's interested. Simple as that.
So we're basically saying we want to do the opposite. We want to let our people see what you offer and then see if they're going to be interested before we sign anything, in my opinion.
That was Richard's idea.
Um,
Could do a case
how
study.
would we do that?
So if you give Ken the information of what you're offering and how it goes, then we send it to our residents
Mhm.
and let them decide, yes, this is something we are interested in, or no, it's not, or the majority, or how many. And then we can say, okay, we'll set up a time where they come in and then we sign whatever agreement there is to sign.
So yeah, so the agreement that I'm mentioning is just a marketing engagement agreement that you guys can also cancel at any time. That just formalizes the engagement because we would be spending a considerable amount of effort, time, and resources to advertise this program to your residents. So yeah, and again, they do decide for themselves. We're not forcing anybody into anything. They just receive information about this program. If they would like to save money with community solar, they can do so. If they don't, that's absolutely their choice. No harm, no foul. If nobody enrolls, you guys can cancel it at any time, and we go our separate ways. But generally, we see very high enrollment rates, and more people are, well aware of the increasing energy costs, and this is a very easy way to kind of offset those energy price increases that I'm sure you guys all well aware of. So yeah, that's how we operate. So if you guys would like to proceed, that will have to be the structure, and if not, then we thank you for your time.
Do you have references or testimonials from people that have gotten into the program that you could forward to Ken?
Yep,
No,
plenty on
towns?
our website across 5 states. We operate in 5 different states. We have this municipal program running for about 6 years now. We work with municipalities from small to large. Most recently, City of Buffalo signed an agreement with us for this program. In Maryland, in Delmarva specifically, that's our newest territory, so we're very new here. But like I mentioned, we signed this agreement with 3 municipalities that I'm sure you guys know. Like I mentioned, Perryville, Denton, and Hurlock, and we're rolling out this campaign there. So hopefully we'll have some local references here very shortly. But yeah, we have plenty of references if you're interested.
Irritated by the 2 other groups and coming through here, and they come through and they see our names online and they name drop all the time when they're knocking on the door that we are allowing them to come through. So I do like that. So if you get us all the information, we can talk about it at our working meeting.
Great.
Because this is, I think we can discuss it a little more in detail.
Yep, sounds wonderful. We'll follow up,
Okay.
and you guys please let us know how else we can help, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I'd like to go around about what we did at MML first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. I spent a lot of classes with Renee and Tom. It was like they were my personal babysitters. But one of the classes that I will tell you that flat out was very interesting to me and probably to Tom also was how to conduct meetings. We were kind of off in left field with some of the stuff that we were doing. And with some of the stuff that we stole from, Ocean City and made it our own and bringing it back to where it should be. What I found out about was, the one thing that we were worried about was whether or not we were posting our agendas in time or our meeting minutes in time. We've already covered all of that because we made it public that there was a meeting. It's on our annual schedule, so there's no surprise on whether there's a meeting or not. The agenda will come when the agenda presents itself, and as long as it's presented before the meeting, they have violated no laws. The minutes themselves on the other side can be presented when they're done. And that can either be the minutes or it can be a video. You don't even have to do written minutes if you choose to publish a video. You can do one or the other or both, but only one is required by Maryland state law. And then the other one was about, we talked about our employee handbook, which is, kind of what Kim is here for. Our handbook is a mess. And it probably doesn't even come close to what is required by the law in the state of Maryland for a municipal government on what's in there. So we have to dig it down and we have to pretty much build it from scratch all the way back up to the top. And some of the other stuff, the classes were totally mislabeled. The one was talking about team building. It was conflict management. It was not team building. Conflict management is something totally different than team building. And Tom actually sat beside me in that too. And, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I felt. I didn't feel like it was team building. No, it was just how to solve a conflict. But I can go on for days because a lot of the classes are classes that I have taken 100 times before in my prior career. But yeah, the last two were the best. They waited until the last day to give me the best two courses. Meetings and the employee handbook.
Yes. Since I wasn't doing report stuff, I did more advanced stuff, some of the advanced stuff, but the two major topics of multiple meetings were AI and cybersecurity. And it's fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. But the bigger and most interesting thing I went to was the state, and this guy works in the governor's office, he's the state budget coordinator. And the House Minority Leader or the Senate Minority Leader and the Senate Majority Leader, the three of them did a panel discussion about the budget. And it was really enlightening because now there's the commercial that the governor is, we wiped out the deficit, we did all that. Well, not at all. They deferred, it was a $6 billion deficit, and they deferred $3 billion. So there's $30 billion hanging out there. And they were all open and honest about this. They had no problems, even knowing that the governor was going to speak the next day and get up and say, I balanced this budget.
It was contradicting what.
Oh, absolutely, completely. And they explained the entire process. And then there's also a rainy day fund where $450 million gets put into the rainy day fund every year. They deferred that. They took that money and used it for other things. So the state budget is not in the shape.
You mean the politicians still alive?
They were politicians. They were being politicians. But it was just, I was riveted by them because of their honesty in explaining the process. And yeah,
Going to that,
Yeah.
they are a little more honest than sitting in front of a camera on a TV.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I do.
yeah. It's disappointed by the roundtables because it just was too general. Well, you and I both went and it was. Oh, so
I said,
yeah. So anyway, but all in all, it was pretty good. They were interested in just the cyber stuff. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to use an airport charger station. You don't want to do anything because there's stuff everywhere now, and it just So
take Department of Defense cybersecurity training.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yearly day.
The piggyback of them, second year. fall scheduling problem. And I found it different that this actually go and talk to some of the vendors back there. And we saw a couple interesting things that we might be able to, we might be able to use in the town, possibly in the future. We didn't get calls, stuff like that. One of them was water meters.
Very cool.
And you can actually shut off.
From,
From the
remotely.
deck.
Yeah, they could do that.
That's about,
The second class, last class that I did take with kids. Conflict. The gentleman that was up there, a lawyer from down at,
yeah,
um,
in Montgomery
she went
County.
over some law, different case law and stuff like that, and very, very interesting. And yes, we need to, within the town, we need to bring all of our standards up, because we're probably woefully behind and negligent to some of that. But I found the, yes, I know she's working on that, as we speak.
yeah,
So it was different this year than last year, because as Ken knows, he was fired with the classes and stuff. Monday. Yes,
the court classes and all, because have you gotten all yours? You still have to take
I
the
have
ball
2 more to take.
from the fall.
I need 2 more.
That's at fall time.
I hope it-
I guess we haven't seen what's offered yet.
I think that, and there's one that legit offers, it's the risk management, that one's like in August, all the, like in the fall.
It's in Hawaii.
Yeah. This year, fall one this year is in Deep Creek
You have to
Lake.
do the municipal budgeting and basic. Hopefully, at the fall. Getting graduated.
They do it in September, so.
I too was down there. I took MML's legislative sessions and their outcomes. Very interesting, that they talked about, which I'm gonna, Richard and I are gonna talk about, the ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units. It is something that has to be put through, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like, so you can see it. We took pictures of it. In fact, Richard grabbed me as I was coming through and said, "Yeah, come over here." And I'm glad I saw it, because that's what I see in my head, so it's kind of good. That, I thought it was this October. We have to have that in place by October of next year in our zoning. Now, one thing that's in it is the fact that, we can't stop it. And homeowners, HOAs cannot stop it, and homeowner associations can actually treat it as a separate dwelling, but it also gives it another vote too. So if there's something going on, that other unit can be used for, and they can also charge whatever. Second fees.
Of October 26th.
26. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I'll get better pictures of this, because this, when I was looking at my pictures, I was like, because they're kind of elongated. It's 4 rooms inside there. It's like a little, it's a mini house, but they're very beautiful. There was like a master bedroom, living area that had a kitchen and a living area. And it had a bunk room, 2 rooms here, and then a full bathroom. The one thing that I asked when I was there is, about sprinkler systems. And they said, we understand that certain areas do have sprinkler systems, and they would actually add a little compartment, so that the tank could be in there. That's the outside.
Yeah, I've got stuff that it wasn't a mobile home.
12 foot wide.
Yeah,
But
it's massive.
it was nice on the inside.
I think
12 feet by what?
square feet or something.
Yeah.
12 feet by one.
I just know that they need to have special
They
permit.
can't do the move. Really,
Yeah.
anything over 8 foot wide.
That's the master.
Nice kitchenette. I mean, not a
Bunk room.
not a massive kitchen, but a very nice functional kitchen.
The living area. Had, like I said, it was, didn't have full kitchen, but it had, the kitchen, there was like a stovetop. And like a convention type of, what was in the
But you know, your mother-in-laws or relatives or something, and you use this is
bathroom,
Yeah.
so it's a nice size. Nice.
very nice.
But again, we're doing all this stuff and we're looking at redoing things, which the zoning board knows that we have to work on this. We have a year to do it. It's not 3 months now that I looked at this. But we need to make it Charlestown's not the broad thing that, a lot of counties are just gone, here's the state bill, they just stamp it and they don't make it what it is. It is coming, they do tow it, and I did say that most likely it would have, well, it will be needing to be on a foundation. They will, that's part of the package is to make that happen. And then one thing that we have to work on is will it have a separate water meter, or anything like that. I also went to, municipal resiliency, which Ken and I are gonna start doing here, in the next month, working on our, emergency preparedness plan. With his experience, this will be helping with that and working on our continuing of operations. So something happens to this building, can we move it to somewhere else? And do we have it up and running that we can have internet? So if something happens to this building, right now we have Avalon, there is internet there. So, there's things that we just have to look at. Is it something that we could be over to Firehouse for a minute or, or something like that? That's part of what it was in that meeting. Preserving council culture while empowering new elected officials. This was a really fun meeting. It had, an elected official that's only been there for a couple months, and then somebody like me that's been around forever. And we talked about having, basically a book that shows you this is how things are going on. This is kind of what's expected, etiquette of the meetings. Our board is pretty good with that. Previous boards, not so much, but I think if we have that put together in the future, that might be something that we need to do. We also had, social media and the First Amendment, and it talked about the things. There is a disclaimer that I need to add to our Facebook page. Because in the past it said you could not delete people. And they actually mentioned our favorite person through the county's added. And they commented in because it got right onto my Facebook that next day. So, anyway, basically it says you cannot talk about bodily harm. We can't talk about any of that kind of stuff, or we're removing you and we're blocking you. So that is going to be added to it. And they gave us different case studies. I have her information that we can discuss. We can send questions to her on how we can move forward with that. Because it also talked about your personal page. And if you are adding things about the town on your personal page versus like how I have it, but I have it separated out. And there's ways to get around that too. People are coming back and submitting to that. So. It talked about the cyber risk for critical water systems. It's a new regulation that's going to be coming up.
It's very soon, because
October.
I just got an email from somebody about it.
We, it, just under.
Yes. We fell underneath of it because of the size of our citizenship. However, their recommendation was do it anyhow. Which is. Nah, I haven't handled it.
For cybersecurity, like one of the things, water treatment, can't fall into that ever. Okay, because that is the backdoor approach.
Yeah.
Be there. We're not doing that, but that needs to be part of our whole thing. Um, civic thing.
Oh, yeah, that one was.
The AI powered, I have the guide for that. I downloaded it and I have that. As we go more and more into this, we're gonna have to really start talking about how we're going to be, moving forward as a town. The last one that I went to was the graduate class. Yes, this is a good class. It was talking about different things about resiliency, disasters and that type of thing. But is the town equipped with, financially, if something major happens, that we can pay that money back in 1 to 2 years? So they were asking how much money do we put into our rainy day fund? Okay. There is no. Okay. One of the things that one of the towns brought up is they built a stormwater treatment area. It's been there for 30 years. In the past 20 years, they made a park around it because it's become like a pond. And gradually over time, somehow fish have gotten in there or whatever. So people are doing things. MDE shows up. It's a hazard stand. Now they have to move because now they're saying it's for their lifetime. So that's not cheap.
Yeah.
So MDE rules. So that's some of the things that they were talking about. Things like Ellicott City, which we don't want to be, but they mentioned Ellicott City and things that we're doing. They gave websites where we can see all the towns about where our budget is, how much we're spending, how much we have back. But it also gave us a worksheet that we can actually plug in different things and see where we are with that. So I think there was a lot. There was a couple places that I was like, oh my God, but I think I did learn a lot and I did appreciate going there. Sorry you couldn't be there. I know work is tough for you right now. Okay. Salt on the shoulders.
I had to get something up from them.
Okay. So, but that's just different things that were talked about in the graduate class. I'm gonna put some of the handouts together and send it out to everybody. So if you didn't go to some of those classes, that you can see some of the information. And I do have contact information. Guy who did the graduate class is also a professor. So, University of Maryland, I think, which makes sense because that's where our graduate class, our classes come from. So, do you have anything? You're new. I'm 50 and I was like, I kind of. Do you have anything? And I know I'm not putting you on the spot, okay, because I know you're all taking this all in.
Yes, because I say just taking it in and like Kim and I were discussing some things earlier, just on where to start and where to go from here. And I think we both agreed, like the employee manual to give would be kind of the foundation for where we need to start and build on that and work from there. It's a matter of timing and creating. So I think that's a good place to start. Just looking forward to implementing those new things.
And the Edmonds training and all that's kind of lined up. And
That's
it was kind of, okay, yeah, it was not last week.
Monday.
Okay.
I know use Ocean City, but part of that is because they just did their updates. One thing I like about Ocean Cities, and I know I've talked to Ken and Kim about it, is it's not only the handbook, but it's also the SOPs that go with everything. So, it kind of goes into detail. So the handbook can say, refer to SOP,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. It gives it more in detail. So it's not written totally out in the handbook to make it a 700-page document, but it kind of gives you reference. So,
Any facet Ken and I did specifically talked about the handbook. It's simple, and then you can have
yes.
other stuff, yes, and it don't make it so it's 500 each long War and Peace, that you make it concise, very, easy to understand.
Suggest. Payroll.
Mhm.
So really needs to be done for how we're moving forward, is that there could be a section on there that the handbook and SAP. They do that.
Yeah, it's just having one platform. So where they can go in there, it's easy to use, like I am familiar with ADP, that they can go in there and see what their policy.
Oh, I think that is a great thing. And I am all into being totally paperless. Uh, It's better. Paper is not lousy. Checks. But this has gotten down a lot because we pay a lot and almost everything electronic. That's a good one.
It's just the biggest stack.
And that's only because of the fire company and stuff. Dan, I know you can.
Yeah, just two issues. There was quite a few jet skis on the beach down Veterans Park this weekend. I think it might pay to like rope off the swimming area of the beach to keep jet skis and whatever out of the swimming area. So
I know that was talked about. I tried to do that a while ago. NDE and Corps of Engineers has a lot to say about that. So, it was a big ordeal to even start, but I do agree with that. But I think we could look back into that. So I think they have to come up and look at the area. They have to approve if we can rope it off, and there's a whole big thing on that. Because we do not control the water. Okay, but
Is there anything
I'm
out
trying
there,
to keep the swimming area safe.
is there anything out there that says no jet skis, no boats beyond a certain point?
There's signs up there, yeah. Nobody's enforcing it, and unless there's buoys and a rope or something to go across there, there's nothing prohibited. So they just ignore the signs.
What do they go up there and then go to the wellwood or something? Or what, why are they?
On the beach, on their jet skis are driving in and out of the beach area, people are swimming.
I agree. It's probably something that we can, it's the rope issue.
Could we take some buoys? Put it right across there. Mooring buoy, all the way across. That way we're not controlling the water away. We can put 4 or 5. Just put them all the way across.
It's rope. For some reason, that magic rope.
Somebody will be caught up in the person.
Well, it's only because the private beach over to Manor
Mhm.
has the buoys and the rope to knock off their swimming area from boaters.
Well, they do a lot of things too.
You know what I mean? Just saying.
I know.
But I
The,
think,
the other thing,
and that way, if the kids, if the older adults want to go deeper, they can still go out and it's in between but the jet skis and everything will come back.
the other thing I wanted to bring up was just to help preserve the pilings. The 630 house where we have the marina, where the slopes. Those pilings, a lot of them are starting to rot in the center. And usually they keep those tarred And a lot of times they put those white cones on top of them to keep them from rotting. It's something we might want to look at for there and for the town boat ramp
Yeah, I
pilings there.
think we need to do them for all of them. I took a walk around town. Long Point's pylons are starting to rot out in the middle. So we need to get them tarred and capped on every one of them. So I've already gotten it written down on my list, Dan, but thank you for affirming that.
Okay. That's fine.
I just need to know what size. I have to take a measurement, see how big the pylons are, and they're not all the same size.
Yeah,
but it's gonna
right.
make it- It's like whatever telephone pole was available that day.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull the policy. I wanted to say, I met you at the wait-in. I am running for House of Delegates, 35B, and so I'm going to different towns. About politicians, so I don't have to be the politicians that you don't like it, but I'm just trying to go to meetings as I'm planning going forward, like municipalities, again, being very involved in court deposit. And I think that means a lot to us as a town and senator is that, local autonomy. And I've heard that tonight as of like local voices to shape local decisions. And that wasn't the case for us in court deposit. So I decided to put my money where my mouth is and file. So 2026. And again, I would love to talk with each of you more. It's really great. I just wanted to also say, as an advocate for community, the idea of the Scott Gardens. There's a Danish word called Lykke. It's Lykke, and it's this idea of like young families living with senior citizens in communities and how beneficial that is to everyone. So when you said that, I was really excited. So
I saw that.
Yeah.
That was really kind of cool that
and there's some grants too available for communities like that.
it's part of what, like I said, we're in the infancy stage of it, but talking with all the right people to see about what we need to do and let them know that this is coming forward so that we.
It's very, very exciting. So I run Community Connecting us in Port Deposit. Jane comes and does crafts once a month. It's down there for us. And, we really have been trying to just elevate the voices of our neighbors and other organizations. And so, again, I thought this was really excellent. If you ever wants to call me or give me more insight into, what your part. I do. I have parts for the community center. Again, working on getting my platform and everything going for 35 fuel deposit.
I much appreciate. Yes, I do. We do want to talk to you more to see what our things are. One thing that we're working on the western side of the county is we're forming a 5-town co-op. So that we're working together because of the way budgets are working. So Rising Sun, Port Deposit, Perryville, us, possibly Northeast. They're still figuring, but I know the 4 of us, we're working on what we can do together. And that's again, community initiative. Instead of all of us buying a big piece of equipment that we don't really use, all of us will come together and buy it so that we can use it all because we all can use it. But because of the way the budgets are gone, we need to really start thinking of the buying power and all that. So it's good. So I'm glad to share in the circuit rider market. Yes, we are sharing the circuit rider. It's very important conflict.
Yes.
Told the Secretary of Housing that.
Well, I hope to come to meetings. Again, I'm very active in Port Deposits government because that's where the community center is. And I try to act as a liaison with our neighbors because some people will come to town meetings to do that. But and I will bring a sweater. Ken was like, do you have my hair? I'm like studying up on this. So thank you again for having me.
Thank you.
Anybody online have anything to say?
Yes, this is Dennis. I'd just like to say, I don't agree with Rick that it should turn this into some type of landscaping project. Yeah, it should be just a permanent fix. But or else like the north side of Tasker. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Tammy, you got anything? Do you have any observing of what happened with the 4th of July?
She probably didn't want to say anything.
Okay.
She just never been in one, so she wanted to hear one.
Ken, I do want to thank you for a lot that you've been doing over the past many months, both of you and Kathy, with everything that's been going on here in town and the things that you have kept us afloat, and both of you. So I want you to know personally, I am very thankful for everything, and I know Kim is now starting here. So hopefully there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. So I think, I know you really haven't gotten into the things that you want to yet because of the fires that you've been putting out. But the plans that you've been telling me and putting out on our daily things, it's very refreshing, very refreshing. I just wanted to say that.
Absolutely. I have a lot of residents saying that they feel that they're being heard and there's things being done.
That's big.
So that's huge.
Yes.
Thank you guys for keeping everything afloat. I know you stepped in a bunch, helped out.
I don't want to. Yeah, good team effort. So.
And welcome aboard, young lady.
Okay. With that. Did you have?
We don't ask questions.
Do you want to do it now or?
She really want to go to them. I need the water audit explained to me.
We don't have it yet, so I promise. Once we really look at it for our next meeting. Get
The
it.
condition of your wells. I really can talking about development.
Yeah, there's things that were, it's part of this audit, but we haven't actually sat down and talked about it, so at our next meeting, we'll talk more. One of the things that we do. So, okay, so you're some feelings in it.
The FEMA work.
I did, send her, Jane, you're gonna be in and out of here, so park right.
Yeah.
I'll send you the
I-
report.
And it's just spark. Only so many ways you can take pictures of fires.
I think we should do a recording, like, since it's gotten so many good positive comments on Facebook.
Yeah, see, nobody wants to talk to me. I call.
Well,
It's like, Paul,
She wants to know who to interview about.
Richard was talking about getting an article. Did you want to talk to her about?
Sure.
There was nothing but positive comments.
Well, there was
getting
one,
out.
somebody said, could you think about downlighting the
Yeah.
flag instead of uplighting?
There wasn't.
Now, I'm not sure where those lights were supposed to be, but.
Wasn't some about pollution of the light?
Yeah, light pollution, yes, yeah.
The lights were, and what? They have paint.
He worked late.
He was there at 10 o'clock.
He worked late
He was
and
up there
very,
He was up there.
yeah, D&D, amazing. So,
I think it was supposed to 10:30.
For the entire fireworks thing, went home, got up early in the morning, drove back down there. So there all day, so I didn't see it until late, early the next morning when I got back.
and
It's
that's
been going for years.
The flag was 15 feet by 25 feet.
I get that.
Yeah, the original pole was 53 feet tall with a 40-foot extension on it. We capped this pole we devised a mechanism for the flagpole to drop down over the old existing pole, and then it was lag screwed and new guy wires. But it goes up now with the finial on top. It's actually 94 feet high.
up in here.
And
I'm gonna say you went to work the little axle and everything.
I'm sorry.
Did you use FW axle and everything?
They made the flag. They
You
made
said
the
it was
flag.
15 by 25.
They made the flag and Kim Davis did all the, application.
And
Kim
the
Davis, the industrial company,
and they put it up.
and they put it up. That's-
So whose idea did you?
This, I was told it was made by the people that have the, had the shop, had the factory in Pontypridd, but now they're in Baltimore.
She ordered it. I don't know where she ordered it.
Oh, okay.
It was, it was expensive.
That is ordered way before the talk. But it probably would be good to get another one so that when the big storm comes in and rips it, we saw it and get another one back.
Flag stay up all the time or come down?
No, that's why it's lit. It does have to be lit if it's up all the time.
Like the new one, or are they complaining still?
Oh, no, no, no,
I love
they love it.
it.
It's back.
And on a windy day, it's very visible.
Happy with it up.
No, we got a nice flag and it doesn't make a whole lot of noise.
And this is the original one sitting where Charlestown Marina is. That was donated to the town, which moved it up where it is.
And when was the fire? Because that's not coming up in my brain.
Last June.
Oh, well, see,
Larry,
that's one.
Larry Metz's house.
Okay,
It
it's part of the.
Yeah.
Larry's house.
Yeah, the embers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Netting.
a water spout and took that one. And then that one went back up and then it had to be done again because lightning struck it. So now we're onto this one, the fire mesh.
It's nervous.
This one's maybe pretty impervious. I mean, unless a major
So you're basically daring.
lightnings. But yeah.
There is a, sorry for the delay. At our next meeting, we're also gonna, have the proposal, first reading of it for the skated tower. So that we can get it up. It's in our budgets too, but I wanna bring it so that it's brought in our working meeting so that we can vote on it.
I got I'll
I
talk
can
to her.
finish.
Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to you. When I get to my laptop, I'll send it to them. My phone a lot of times gets attached to something, so I just email you pictures of it.
I got it.
So read the email, you saw Jacob said he would like to walk through one more time because it's been so long.
I'll set it up.
If any way, get him to come down before the next meeting, that way we'll have something to go over.
Yep, I'll set it up.
Thank you very much.
I thought it would be,
Well, we tried to.
The
I refuse.
skated tower out of one part for the sewer.
and I want.
Skater. K-A-D-A. Skater.
SCADA stuff because we are working with the county. It's only a single bid for that because we're using the so that it is all tied in. This one, so once this is put in, the DPWs in the county won't have to drive over here. It'll ping it up to the where the landfill is so that it's sent out to whoever's on call. So, thank you. Okay. So do outs. Look at the, I can't think now. My brain's gone. The water report, thank you. We're gonna be talking about the, skated tower and, I'm finishing up on the big document for our property management. So that renters, this of how many properties, especially with what we're dealing with this one property, it will help with things in there, for the inspections and everything. I want to do one last pass of it to make sure, because there's some questions that I want to talk to Ken about. Then I will send it to, Dave to review. And also have the, zoning look at it one last time so that we can get it on the agenda.
Did the health department help at all?
Oh. I talked to them directly on the phone and they said that they would take a minimum of 30 days to get out there. I'll have it repaired before then. So, yeah, no,
Their staff is cut too.
well, yeah,
Is the soil around the house gonna have to be replaced?
probably, yeah. Based off of what, Surf Pro was talking, I believe all that stuff is contaminated.
And that's gonna go right back on the owner. Right.
Yeah, it has to. It's not our problem. I mean, it is our problem, but it's their financial problem.
I just can't believe that that anybody would bring their children in that picture.
Judge, stop short unless that emergency happened with the homeowner did.
She contacted me today and her plumber bailed on her and I put her in contact with our plumbing. So, the problem is there's no power over there either. There's no power and we got the water shut off, so.
Yeah, Jeff.
Hopefully it was outside. Well,
Didn't like.
Yeah. So the court date was actually today. Yeah. So I should be able to find out, and maybe that's why she was sending me a message, maybe it went through. I'll reach out to her tomorrow to find out if thumbs up or thumbs down for eviction. Maybe. But the plumber would be, unfettered access to it at that point right now.
I still know we can't condemn the house.
We can, it just takes a lot of paperwork to do it.
It's on.
So I've already went down there and talked to Bestie. He said we can, and he actually wants to do it.
Oh,
But
he's chomping.
it's problem is if we condemn it, pretty much we control it. We're responsible for it, which means we have to pay to clean it up.
we should talk to the town about, beach pump. But
There's the insurance issues.
they have to hold up until it's resolved.
There's still an investigation,
Well.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's not.
Well, yeah, apparently when everything was happening, they said there's witnesses, they were just walking out once in a time.
So if there's nothing else. For a motion.
I make a motion to end the meeting,
Okay,
7:58.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor.
uh,
Thank you, everybody, for coming to our lovely meeting. Sorry.
Ben,
No, no.